Welcome, my gorgeous souls, and welcome, my beautiful Leos, to your April 2025 reading. This is going to be for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, those intuitively guided. You can certainly be in love with a Leo, platonically or romantically. A lot of Leo love in my life, and a lot of you know that. But anybody who's new may not. Um, Let me give my shout outs real quick. Starting with my grandson Lexington, who is right on the cusp of Cancer and Leo, but he is a Leo. July 23rd. My mom was August 5th. My son, who also has crossed over, August 12th. My soul sister Diane, August 16th. And Sam, my boyfriend, is on the other side of the cusp. He's right on the Virgo Leo cusp, though he is a Virgo, but he's August 23rd. He's a Virgo who claims he's a Leo. He wants to be a Leo. Um, and he does carry a lot of Leo traits. So, if you're on the cusp, understand that like he could watch the Virgo reading and it could um, really apply to him, but he could also watch the Leo video and probably also pick up messages. By the way, anyone who's new, I want to say welcome. I do want to thank everyone who's been with me also. Um, but I want to let you know that I read through my spirit guides and my son Stephen, Stephen, I feel like he would want that clarified. Anyway, I feel like I don't know why I always say I know that he's a big part of our guidance in your readings. I also feel my mother's energy. This recipe box, this wooden box over here, it's an old recipe box. And the reason why I put it back on the table, I did take it off because I do like having a lot of room. But this box has been handed down from my great grandmother to my grandmother to my mother to my sister and now to me. So I feel like it's the wisdom of all my ancestors, all those who loved me and who I loved. So I brought it back um, in the reading. I mean, it was only on the other side of the table, but okay, so there's a couple things I want to talk about, Leo, before we actually get into the cards. I feel, first of all, April's going to be a great month for you. I really do. I feel like you are going to have, like, I feel like you're going to be in a very optimistic mood for the majority of the month. The one thing I want to remind you is that Mercury is in retrograde. But it goes direct very early in April, the first week. But there's a shadow period to that. So the reason why I bring that up is, just think about your communication. When Mercury is in retrograde, sometimes we can say things we don't really mean to say, but then you can't take them back. So I feel like when Mercury's in retrograde, like let's say that you're about to get in an argument, I would stop and think about what I'm going to say first. You know what I mean? Like, do I really want to say that? Because a lot of hurtful communication can certainly take place during Mercury retrograde. Um, so you have Mars entering your sign on April 12th. This is really good. This is really going to help increase your passion, your drive. This is a great time for asking for promotions. You may just automatically get promotions, but I feel like, if you feel like you're due for a promotion, you may need to ask. This could be the perfect time. Um, some people are uncomfortable with asking, but if you know that you deserve it, then this could be the perfect time. I'm not going to guarantee. I mean, depends on your boss. But this is also a fantastic time for launching. like any inspiring new projects that you may have. This could be the perfect time for you, I'm telling you. And then you have the full moon in your opposite sign of Aquarius on the 26th. Um, what did I put down about that? This is going to highlight your closest bonds. So, as relationships go, um, it's really going to highlight that area for you. You can use this to really reignite existing relationships, get some passion, maybe some romance back into it. And for those who are single, you may be thinking about like, I might be ready to settle down. Um, not everyone. I want to make that clear. Like, I don't feel like everyone is going to be like, I'm ready to settle down, but I do feel like there's going to be quite a few. Um, I see a lot of flirting going on for singles. Well, not just singles. I see Leos. Like, I see a lot of fun, romantic flirting going on. And I even advise that. I think it would be very good for existing relationships, but also, like, don't be afraid to go out on a date and be playful. Like, be yourself. Be yourself. But I feel like romance is just going to blossom for some of you, and it will probably be unexpected. Um, so that's the main thing I got for you. All right, I'm going to set that over there. Holding on to that moldavite. I'm going to take one more drink of coffee. Well, I'm going to leave it on the table. All right, I'm going to bring the lid down. So we are going to, we'll start with Mother Mary for her beautiful words of wisdom. We will use the Gilded Tarot to clarify and go deeper. For your main spread, not normally a deck I choose for you, but it's the one that was being called. So, Tarot of Dreams. I mean, I love this deck, don't get me wrong. Um, I brought out the romance angels because let's face it, I feel like we will be talking about romance. I just feel it. And by the way, I'm also going to use, well, we'll see. I'm going to play this by ear, but these are the clarifying love situation cards. And they're already pre-shuffled. I just put them up there to give myself room. We will use the major arcanas. I feel like these bring so much value to our reading. I shoot for like four. I used to say three. Um, I think even in your reading last month, I think we got like 10. I know we got a lot, but very seldom do I say no unless it's just too many, because then I feel like, well, that's my human mistake. Okay, so I'm just going to take a moment, let our guides know that we are ready. I mean, I've been ready, but I am now officially opening up the tarot portion. I want to thank our guides for their advice, their guidance throughout this reading, and hopefully the signs will be as clear as possible. And I thank them in advance. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to we'll start with Mother Mary. It's funny, I always catch myself saying we're going to use Mother Mary, and then I feel like that doesn't sound right. Hmm. Hmm. Kind of feel. Oh, I kind of feel like those are your cards. Oh, oh, okay. Well, we got four. That's okay. Jesus. I pray for Jesus's help and guidance with this situation. I pray for Jesus' help and guidance with this situation. Present moment. Right off the bat, it makes me feel like some of these prayers, all of them are being heard, and maybe they're all being answered. But I feel like all of a sudden, like I got to be open to even the unexpected because my prayers may be answered differently than when I prayed, but better, but better. Okay, so I am fully present in the here and now. And by the way, when you hear me say me or I in your reading, I'm just literally you right now. I am a Leo. I am those intuitively guided. I am your energy. We have truth. I am lovingly honest with myself and others. Truth. That could be why I felt like some prayers may be answered a little bit differently than how they've been prayed. But I feel like with truth being here, it means you're not hiding anything from yourself. You're being completely honest with yourself. It's like knowing oneself, like all parts of oneself. So, in present moment, I feel, our guides often send that energy because that's where they send our signs in the present moment. And then look at this. Love, love, love. Love is the answer to all of my questions. Amen. End of reading. No, I'm kidding. Um, well, love. Love of all forms, though. I want you to understand that, especially marrying Jesus right now. I feel like it literally is love of all forms. Having a loving, or allow your loving self to come out. And I'm not even talking romance. I'm just talking about, that part of yourself, that beautiful part of yourself. I know it well. Okay. I was going to set them up. Maybe I should. Let me get the romance angels. Jesus. Present moment. Truth. Love. Love, love, love. Okay. Let's just put them right there for right now. All right, let's bring in the major arcanas. Again, spiritual team, I'm shooting for 4. But whatever needs to come out. I'm very open in my readings. I can have certain expectations, but I also know to like go with the flow. All right. Oh, hello, lovers. Your very first card. So the meaning of the lovers is a head over heart decision. But notice the angel's influence over these lovers. That's Cupid, like about to strike that arrow. It almost feels like two people who are about to meet. And I just get this feeling. I feel this all the time with this, that like when we touch, it almost like sends this shock through our body. It's got to be a special kind of chemistry. Yes, it can certainly mean a head over heart decision, but I feel like I'm feeling it more as chemistry. Okay, we have the chariot. Interesting. So we have Gemini and then Cancer. The chariot really is about number one, balance. So we can talk about maybe these lovers being balanced. Let's say this is someone you haven't met yet, you know, then to me that means divine is making sure that both the soulmates are balanced. That's what's going to give them the best shot so that this can last forever. And that's really what the chariot represents, unlimited potential. I love the beautiful rainbow behind it. It's like the promise of happier days is what I'm feeling. But I do again want to remind you that the chariot needs your balance. The chariot needs the balance of the feminine and the masculine, the light and the dark. Um, and when, like, let's say the energy is unbalanced, it's like getting a car. This is the way I see it. It's like, like, oh, I got a brand new shiny car, but all my tires are flat. So I'm not going to go far. I can look at that beautiful car, but until I put air in those tires, it's just going to stay parked. The chariot is moved by your intentions. So that makes me very happy because I feel, again, just planetary energy is going to help you be in this optimistic energy. So I feel like the chariot's just going to soar. All right, just keep going. Your major arcana, the strength card. And then we have the hermit. I swear all your neighbors are here now. Look at just the way this is in line. Maybe that's the ticket being like feeling aligned. We have Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, all in order. So we have your major arcana strength card. That's really about, knowing, it really is knowing oneself. It's knowing one's own inner demons. It is that balance again, but it's that balance within. I feel like the strength card is really the ability to overcome, like even her goggles have the infinity sign. So I feel like anything I've had to deal with um up until this point, is probably teaching me something. It may be getting me ready for something. And then you move into the hermit's energy, which I do feel is about your spirituality. The hermit, you either see the hermit going into a cave or coming out of a cave. Going into the cave to me represents dark night of the soul. This is where I'm like asking divine those difficult questions, but I am receiving guidance here. I often feel like the hermit's seeking the light, and what the hermit realizes within the dark night of the soul is I am the light, right? I am the light. I can save myself, and I might just be able to save others too, because I feel this is such a spiritual energy. Even if I'm not doing it for a living, it's just going to be the energy you're carrying around. It does feel very balanced to me. Like, I feel like the energy here is very balanced. By the way, you have Virgo and Gemini who both share Mercury. So just keep that in mind. Again, Mercury goes direct early in the month, but we do have a little bit of a shadow period. But wow, holy cow. First of all, I love the synchronicities of how the signs are falling in place. Gemini to Cancer to Leo to Virgo. Sorry, just readjusting my chair. Oh, okay. 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. That alone may mean something to someone. We're also in the year of the hermit. This is the last year of a 9-year cycle. And I love that the hermit has emerged from the cave. That means I found the answers I was seeking. And now it's just naturally, I feel like your energy, it shifts, but in the most beautiful of ways. Okay, well, let's bring in the Tarot of Dreams. Let's go deeper. Everything is pre-shuffled, by the way. I may have to pause this and close my window. A little bit of noise going out there. I don't know if you can hear it. All right. I just find it wow that we go from the Lovers to the Chariot to Strength card to the Hermit, the 6, the 7 to the 8 to the 9. We have the 6 of Cups. Okay. 6 of Cups speaks about a period of time that you really have, you could call it treasured memories, very happy memories. It can certainly represent someone that you already know. You know, they are children, so it feels like it would be like back in the day. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Hmm. Feels like there might be some type of communication going on or about to go on. Hello, Star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, also your opposite sign. This is manifesting those dreams. You know, we can wish and wish and wish, but I feel like what we have to learn is like our dreams can come true, but sometimes we have to let go of control of exactly how they show. And then we have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a great energy. Means, you know, I feel like this means you're doing exactly what this year is asking you to do, and that is to reflect back. Again, this is the end of a 9-year cycle, and next year will be the beginning of a new 9-year cycle. I really want to think about, you know, how I want that to be. This is the year to really lay the groundwork. But this is really looking back, and each of these wands behind this person, these are experiences that they've overcome. And, you know, I shouldn't say all of them I had to overcome, but that I've learned from each one of these. And now this person's realizing that. I do call this person my spirit warrior because I feel like it's bold to be able to do that. And this is like without judgment, you know, like what was I thinking? It doesn't matter. You learn something from it. And that really is what our soul is here for, to learn. I love that this nine, the person in the 9 is looking right back at the star. It's almost like saying to the universe, I've done my work. You know, like I know who I am, all parts of myself now. Um, you know, if I'm seeking something, let's say of a higher realm, then I feel like it was really important that you know all sides of yourself. I also feel like understanding that, you know, like I just get this feeling like I don't need someone to come in to save me because I can do that on my own. But you do want to manifest. Okay, so let's keep going. I think I'm going to do 5 across. So let's see what mirrors that 6. The 6 of Cups, and we have the High Priestess, your intuition. Your intuition. Mirroring the 6 of Cups. And Knight of Cups, or I'm sorry, the Knight of Swords, looking right over at the 6 of Cups. Some of you, this could be communication again from someone that you used to know, or it could be you making communication. Don't forget, sometimes we need to reach out. It's like, I don't know. I feel like if there's someone that's on your mind that you really want to reach out to, um, I would reach out because let's say that they have no interest. Well, I'd rather know that so I can move on. Like I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket if they're not going to be appreciated. So I want to know the truth. But I don't feel like this is anything negative. Not at all. Especially with the star right in the middle. So it does feel like this is about certain dreams, wishes that are now um ready to manifest. Look at that, Ten of Pentacles. Hmm. All of a sudden I'm feeling some of you could be moving back to like a homestead, like back where you grew up. The cherry could put you in movement. I don't feel like that's for everyone. But I also want to say, hello, abundance. Hello, abundance. Under the Six of Cups. Hmm. You know, I also feel, by the way, two sixes connected. So these lovers and these Six of Cups, I feel like they're connected. Um, and some of you may find yourself like on the road again. On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road again. Mm-hmm. Hello, Palace of Cups. So to me, the Palace of Cups is an energy that I'm really shooting for. It's a step above the Ten of Cups. Is that even possible? Clearly, it is. The world, your next chapter, right under the star. So this means it's opening something new up to you. When I see the world, I feel like this is energy that has the potential to last for the rest of my life. I say that because the world card is the last card in tarot. I often feels like the closest to God, the closest to Jesus. And if you look right in the middle of that portal is the Fool. So the willingness to take a leap of faith, the willingness to put the past in the past, especially if you have gone through the Nine of Wands energy, this reflection, like you can claim, like I know who I am, all parts of myself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But now I also know how to control it. Maybe in my younger years, I didn't. You are full of fire. All right, look at this. Knight of Cups, unexpected cup of fulfillment, following the world. And then we have the Queen of Wands. I feel like this is you. This is a queen of action. This is a queen who trusts her intuition. She's not a fear-based energy. And her intuition is right above her. Your intuition. This queen is mirroring this ten of pentacles. So yes, we do have this unexpected love, but I don't want to skip over this potential of, because I do feel like there's more than one dream coming true, but I feel like it's because you now deserve it. And maybe that didn't sound right. Um, well, because I feel like your vibration has lifted, and therefore what comes back to you must also be of that vibration. You know, trust your intuition. But look at this knight. He's looking at the world, and the other side of the world is the pay or is the Palace of Cups. And I want to say that I feel like who's ever in this Knight of Cups, who's bringing in this cup of fulfillment, also has the Nine of Wands above it. So they know who they are, right? And what I mean by that is there's no need to wear a mask. It's about being truly who you are. Nobody is perfect. So don't shoot for perfection and don't ask for perfection because you won't find it. But it doesn't mean we can't come really close to it. Everything I said in the beginning of the reading, I'm already seeing it in your reading. Here's the abundance. And by the way, in the 10 of Pentacles, I do feel like that lasts for the rest of your life. I even feel sometimes it's energy that, or a business, let's say, that can be handed down. Or when you leave this world, your work remains. Remember I said about um, what I felt you're producing in April feels very inspiring, but it has to inspire you first. So that's what I feel like will happen. Like you'll feel inspired. I feel like some of you already are. It's just about now bringing it to the table. And if you have already, let's say, brought a project to the table, then I feel like what you're going to see is the fruits of your labor. You know, it's showing that August, that April's going to be very abundant for you, but it feels like in all areas. All right, let's look at the bottom of the, look at this, Ace of Wands. It's go time. It's go time. You know, I feel like because we have the Hermit and we're in the year of the Hermit, which does mean reflection, finding your spirituality, becoming one with it. You know what I mean? Your spiritual team know that signs are being sent to you all the time in the present moment. Love comes out with Mother Mary. Our very first card is the lovers. And then that Knight of Cups, unexpected cup of love. It is part of this next chapter, but I think where I was trying to go with this is, we don't have to stay in this deep reflection all year long. It's like, and I feel like you're not going to, because I feel like you've already done a lot of this reflection that this year is asking for. And therefore, it's like you move on sooner versus later. Okay, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. Let me give him a quick shuffle though. Oh, by the way, before I move on, I keep forgetting to tell people this. Um, I did start a new membership program. The series, some of you will know what I'm talking about, some won't, but I have a series called Beyond the Veil, Psychic Readings, and to begin with, what I did was I was just picking up on energy and giving messages. And then I thought, you know what? Let's let you ask some questions. So many, many, many of you did. I still have to finish them. I think I did um, um, two sets, let's say, because there's a lot of questions in each one of them. But I still have more I'm going to do. So if you have your question out there, don't worry about it. I'm not really taking any more. But my point is just with the response, I was going to take that series and move it over to Buzzsprout, where I officially have my podcast. But because of the interest and the questions, I thought let's do a membership program where you and I will go live. Um, I want to say once a week, but I cannot promise that, but at least bi-monthly. I think in the last reading I said twice a week. I can't do that. I just don't have the time. But we will try to go once a week. And literally you can ask me whatever you want to ask me. But you do have to be a member. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't go live for like everyone on YouTube again. I will. Um, but just the interest with those questions, I thought, I'm not going to pull it off of YouTube. I'm not going to pull it away from you guys. So, and you can check that out. There's a little join button right below the video. It doesn't commit you, it just shows you. Okay, so that's off the table. Okay. So I was just going to say we're going to start at the beginning, but we're reading it as a whole. We're going to take what's face up first. We have the Eight of Wands, fast moving energy. What I think about, I bring about. A lot of images you'll see four wands going out to the universe. Those are your intentions. It's an eight, so it could be new, probably is new, or at least new and improved. But this is like using that law of attraction, putting those intentions out there, and then watching them come back, but also being open that they may come back a little different, but better. Just so happens to come over the Six of Cups. We have the Tower. Interesting. Okay. We have Judgment. Right over your hopes and dreams and wishes. And then we have, look at this, the World again. Do I feel like two people are being aligned? I'm saying two people. I feel many people, but like partnerships being aligned. I do. We have two worlds, so we know there's two new beginnings. We have Judgment, who's very close to present moment, right? That's what Judgment. This is your spiritual team, by the way. Your spirit guides, your angels, your archangels. But your spirit guides have lived life before. So they understand, you know, your plight. They understand the tower. Um, all of a sudden I get this feeling that something ended with someone. It may come out of the blue, but I feel like if we're being really honest with ourselves, I feel like it needed to end. If I want to invite this in, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to. So that tower is disruption. Can certainly talk about endings. It usually does. I often feel like someone fell from grace in the tower's energy. Usually not you. But sometimes it can be you. You know what I mean? But if it is that, then I feel like you rebounded, you understand it. You know, this is reading right now. Like there is someone in your life that I feel like you probably have not heard from, seen in a long time. Now, I know it's not everyone because I feel like there's going to be different stories for different people. That's what I love about our spiritual team is I do feel like they try to cover as many stories as possible. And that's why our reading is long. But anyways, I feel like chances are you were together before. But I feel like the timing wasn't right. Now, mm, as I say that, I feel like you were meant to connect when you did connect. I just don't feel like you were meant to then be together. Now, why would that be? Like, why would I meet someone that I love? Because I do feel like there was love. And then the universe telling me, well, it's not the right time. Well, probably to crack open your heart chakra. Also, I feel like because it does kind of feel like we have soulmates here with two worlds, like two people have new chapters opening up. And we have this Knight of Swords who is bringing in some type of communication. And the Ace of Wands even is representing, like, yes, passion, go time. It is your choice, right? That's what the lover says. It is a head over heart decision. But I just feel like, instead of saying it wasn't the right time, I feel like what it's really about is each one of these souls had their own intentions in this lifetime. So there were certain things that I as a soul wanted to accomplish, certain adventures I wanted to have, maybe even some bad love to teach me good love. You know what I mean? And I feel the same for the other person. It's like you're both reliving your lives, but then eventually I feel like coming back together. Now, it can certainly represent past life also, but a soulmate would also be a past life. Soulmate is eternal, like you have always known each other's souls. It's just that when we're born with amnesia. And that's because, a lot of people are like, why? Why? And not everyone is, but most of us are. It's because, it'd be too hard. Like, think of the fool in the middle of the portal of this next chapter. It is representing the letting go of the past, and the willingness to take a leap of faith towards your future, but starting in the present moment. And to carry the weight of every lifetime, because, we probably had lots of towers in many lifetimes. I don't want to remember all that. Do you know what I mean? Um, but here's the thing I feel with soulmates when you do ultimately, it feels like coming back together. You recognize, you feel that energy. It feels different than probably anybody you've been with. And that may be part of it. Like, I could see like two people coming back together, and I do feel years in between. And I know this is not everyone's story. Um, but like almost like, we were children and now we're full grown adults. But I feel like passion, you're not going to be able to stop it. I feel like it's really important to pay attention to your intuition, but I feel like that's really what you've been learning. Your intuition is the difference of like the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is like a self created prison. That's where we're building walls and barriers around ourselves. We don't want what we had. We don't want to go through something like that again. Well, that's what your intuition is for. It's a gift that you were given. It is your GPS. So, if you went through something, let's just say it was a free will choice and it turned out horribly, you probably had a red flag. I know I've had them, and I know I've ignored many of them. And then afterwards be like, okay. So there was a red flag. But, anyways, I don't feel like we need to talk about like the hardships of the past because I feel like this is all about what's about to be. Yeah, I think why I'm talking about this is there could be communication, whether it be you calling someone or someone calling you, probably out of the blue, because again, the Knight of Cups represents unexpected. Like I almost can't plan for it, but in a way I can, because again, the law of attraction, putting those intentions out there, and just trusting that divine will send back good, good blessings, let's say. Okay, let's keep going. So, spiritual team, right over the star, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, that's connected to the world, your next chapter. Also, it's interesting because judgment is connected to the world here and connected to the world here. And then we have, interesting, the King of Wands with the Queen of Wands. Wow. And then we have the Moon, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. This is the feminine's energy. Um, Interesting because we have that full moon, and I feel like that's going to help a lot. I feel like a lot of planetary energy is in your favor. Not just this month, by the way. I feel like you have an opportunity to really take advantage of this energy. And who knows? I kind of feel like create the life that you've always wanted to create, even if it's just the beginning of it. I do love that the King and Queen of Wands are connected here by the High Priestess. It's almost like intuitively picking up on each other's energy. I could see, like, it reminds me of, like, Sam and I's story, my boyfriend. Someone left a message like, who the hell's Sam? He's my boyfriend, but he was my boyfriend from way back in the day, from when we were teenagers. I mean, this kind of is my story. I'm not reading it like that because of my story. It's just falling that way. Um, but anyways, what I was going to say is, we reconnected 40 years after the fact. It was completely unexpected. We were both ready for it though it took me 5 years because he kept asking me to move in with him, and I lived in Rhode Island, he lived in Pennsylvania. Um, Took me 5 years to make that decision because there was a lot of fear. But it was stupid type of fear. Like, I don't want to have to wear makeup every day. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's probably going to want me to wear makeup every day. I'm the type of person gets out of bed, brushes the hair, and then boom, I'm off to work. My point really is none of the fears that I had manifested. They were really a waste of my energy. Now, I don't regret it because that's 5 extra years that, I was spending with my daughter. But I see that energy here. I feel like some of you, oh, I know why I even brought the whole thing up. Because, during some of my darkest moments, let's say, and I've had quite a few, especially as it relates to a relationship, I remember like putting my head down on the pillow at night and just kind of like fantasizing, like, wonder what Sam's up to these days. Wonder how his life turned out. I would just think about him, and then I'd think about, wonder what it would have been like if we stayed together. But I feel like I was meant to think those thoughts because then it actually manifested. And I'm saying that because I feel like some of you are connecting, almost psychically on a spiritual level, or you have that ability. This feels very, 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 very good. Some of you, the full moon may be a very exciting time for you. Interesting, I'm seeing the King of Pentacles, and I'll tell you why. When I was pre-shuffling your cards, he kept coming out over and over again. And I do notice that. Like, if a certain card comes out over and over again, to me, there's a reason. We'll see why. Well, there's our full. Right over the Palace of Cups. Can I really have it all? Yes. You just got to know what to put behind you and when to take this leap of faith. I would not be surprised if you don't have a surprise phone call. Now, I'm saying phone call, but this day and age, it can be a text. A lot of people don't pick up the phone like they used to. And then you taking a leap of faith, or it's the other way around, because I can feel it both ways. All right, and then the King of Pentacles, right over the world. So some of you are connected to this king. Can be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I feel like right now all we have is Virgo. But here's the thing. You know what I'm going to say next. Let's just kind of forget about the sign. And let's think of the energy of the King of Pentacles. First thing that comes to my mind is how this king looks at life. He looks at the big picture. Where the Queen of Pentacles is looking for those little details that other people miss. This is someone who can just look at the big picture and form, a good thought, form I feel like this energy of knowing instinctively whether something's going to be good or not good. Now, I also feel like this is representing loyalty, stability, financially stable. So I don't feel like this is talking about where anybody has to it's not about anybody taking care of each other financially, even though you do have the Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like you could. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, especially if you do make an ultimate commitment. Yes, we should share. But I feel like what this is here for most of you is to let you know that you can kind of relax in this energy. For those who are single, go on a date. If someone asks you out, go on that date. Don't have prejudgments in your mind. Use your intuition, because people will always reveal to you who they are. We just have to learn to listen. But I like this king here. And I'm not even saying that it's an earth sign, though it could be for some of you. I know that's confusing. I can already feel some people are like, Sandy, is it or isn't? Well, I feel like it's different for different people. All right. Six of Pentacles. Well, I kind of love that coming over the Knight of Cups. And then double star. Double star. Right over the Queen. But it's connecting to the King with the High Priestess right there. Judgment right over the star. Calling you to the present moment. There's some signs that's about to be sent your way. And these signs are going to help you reach your goals in different ways. And not just one way. I feel like it's like blessings being sent, but well earned. And I say that because the Nine of Wands is right beside those wishes. So this is you truly knowing who you are. And when you really know who you are, and the abilities that you have, then I feel like you can take a pentacle and make it 10 with no problem. But, anyways, let's get back to the Six of Pentacles over this Knight of Cups. Six of Pentacles. Okay, so first of all, the Six of Pentacles, the meaning of that card is the fine art of give and take. So, I could have been in an energy where I gave and gave and gave and gave. I like to give, but not receiving. Well, that's not so much fun. This person definitely is compassionate and empathetic, but also I feel like with the Six of Pentacles is learning, you know, that give and take equal. To me, six is an equal. It's positive. I literally feel like your spiritual team is trying to break down this person for you. And I know we're seeing kings, but that can be males or females also. Because remember, we're both masculine and feminine energy. I feel like I have one connection right here for sure. I feel like this is another connection for another. It does feel like this communication is unexpected. There could have been a tower in the past, but this is nothing that can't be overcome. So if this was a tower, I don't feel like it was major shakeup. It may have felt like that at the time. I'm going to use myself for an example again, like when Sam and I broke up. And why did we break up? I'll tell you. When I remember we were out one night and he was dropping me off at the house and he leaned over and he said, "I love you." And I couldn't say it back, though I loved him. I really did. Um, but I just didn't hear it as I was growing up, so it made it very hard for me. Like I couldn't say it. And he broke up with me. And that was it. That was it. There was no like he wouldn't take my calls. That was it. So that was it. Isn't that funny? Silly little things, but probably what was meant to happen because, he went on and did well in his life. I went on and did well in my life. Um, but anyways, enough talking about me. Did I look under there? Look at that temperance. Everything's in divine timing. So temperance, her first message is patience, right? And temperance, you can't see it here. Dang it. Normally you'll see temperance has two cups in her hands and she's like mixing the loving waters of the two cups. She's bringing both cups to balance, but it's in divine timing. Wow. I feel like divine timing has reached us. All right, let's go underneath also. I'm even going to say the Fool under the Tower shows us how we can bounce back, and we have to learn how to bounce back too, because judgment's like, hey, you have some more dreams out here. You have some more blessings that are still waiting for you. So, the sooner you're ready, we're ready. We have the Three of Pentacles, beautiful under the Ten of Pentacles. This is you doing what you love. This is you being admired for what you do. And it's coming over your money house. This signifies that it is your individuality that sets you apart. And I don't care how many people are doing the same thing you do, this signifies that nobody can do it like you. Other people admiring what you do. If you're let's say, selling products, then other people are buying them. Let's say you're working with your hands, because that's kind of what it feels like my craft. Wow. I feel like you're going to be sitting pretty with your money. I really do. As long as you're putting that action in. Okay. Look at this. The Ten of Pentacles again. Come on. Coming over the Palace of Cups with the Fool right above it. Could certainly say take some chances within your money. I mean, literally, again, Mars helping you, inspiring you to really bring projects forward. Take that leap of faith. Even if it didn't work out before, there's something new. If let's say this tower, the Fool and the Ten of Pentacles is relating to something you used to do, like that tower didn't work, or I lost a job, you know, again, it is disruption, and it's not easy. But then the Fool, it's like you're rebounding from that. And then what does that produce? The Ten of Pentacles again. However, it's coming over the Palace of Cups. Wow. We have the Queen of Swords. I feel like for some of you, this is connecting you. And then we have the beautiful Empress. Beautiful. Now, for some of you, you could be a single mom. This is the mother figure. Um, this is the creative one, which many of us are. That's why I don't put a sign to the Empress, because I feel like the Empress has gone through the experiences of all the queens, and that's how she becomes the Empress. What has the Empress learned? Not to shut down her heart, not to build up walls. She's learned to trust her intuition and her guides above all. She knows, like, if I need to sit on something for a little while before I bring to the table, she instinctively knows. And how do I love that she's coming over the Knight of Cups? You know, Marrying the Hermit, I feel like for some of you who, let's just say you've been, I hate to use the word working on yourself. Um, but let's just say you've been reflecting upon you, and you probably did go through a dark night of the soul, but this is you emerging from that dark night of the soul. This is you with that beacon of light. You now carry it. Well, the Empress definitely carries that light. Wow. Okay. Let's see if we can get one more out. Look at that. And the Chariot. And it came face up. And it's right under the star, connecting the king and queen to their intuition. It's like a dream is coming true, and the Chariot is the unlimited potential. Let me tell you something. If you truly have done reflection and you understand that, number one, being proud of who you are today doesn't mean all your problems are solved, but it feels like it's getting closer and closer to solving a lot of your problems. But you have a big say so in all of this. Don't forget that. Starting with the Lovers, a head over heart decision. Will I or won't I? This is definitely mirroring energy also. Because look at the Ten of Pentacles so close to the Ten of Pentacles. The Star, the Star, Judgment, your spiritual team coming right over the Star. who's also connected to the chariot, the star, the chariot. You know, even this Knight of Cups, this unexpected couple fulfillment, this Empress, she's going to move according to her intuition. She knows how to read people's energy. You do. So when I say she, I mean you. And that's what you want to trust. Again, those who are single, I feel like go on those dates, or let's say it's not a date. Maybe you're just connecting online. Trust your intuition. But I also feel like have fun. The Empress is so creative. And that's kind of what I felt down over here at the Three of Pentacles. By the way, a three and a three kind of is connecting them. So, yes, we are over the Knight of Cups, which speaks about love. But I also feel like let's not forget about your creativity and your ability to really create abundance for yourself. And I feel like your spiritual team is doing such a great job at bringing us the messages. I feel that way. I hope you do too, but I definitely feel that. I see the synchronicities. I see a lot of growth. The world does signify new chapters that are opening up. We have two worlds. Wow. I don't even know. Like, I'm thinking, I mean, I do this in every reading. Like, I don't even know what to clarify because to me it feels so clear. But I do this, I'll go back and clarify for you because I just feel some of you may be like, don't end it yet, Sandy. So let me look. You know what I'm going to do? Just because I really don't feel like there's any one card that needs clarifying, I'm just going to take some cards right down the middle of the spread, but I'm keeping judgment in mind because I do feel like that's probably one of the most important. Look how the hangman just flipped around. Look how the hangman just flipped around. This is a spiritual awakening. It's like your spiritual team. All of a sudden, I feel so proud of you. Spiritual awakening. You know how Mother Mary sent out the truth? Well, when the hangman's in the awakened state, you can't hide truth, but neither do you want to. The hangman in the upright is really a pause in the action. Everything here, the Eight of Wands, fast moving energy, the Ace of Wands, it's go time. Pause in the action. Not only does this mean it's go time, but it's showing like your growth. Wow. I wasn't even expecting that. All right, we have the Four of Cups. Look at this, the Five of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Hermit again. Some of you're dealing with a Virgo, or it may be a Virgo you're meeting. Now, I don't mean everyone, because I don't want you just to think of one sign. But boy, does this feel right? We have the spiritual awakening. It feels like when you see the Four of Cups speaks about discontentment and boredom, but it's of an emotional nature. It feels like you got your money together It feels like, you know, those who are starting new projects, I feel like you have more faith in yourself than you ever had before. But maybe the one area you feel like I don't have like fulfillment in is within your emotional life. And then it moves into the Five of Cups. Well, first of all, here's the soulmates right behind this person. This is missing someone. Now, it doesn't have to be missing one person. It's when someone is, let me give you the meaning of this card. It's pointing out where one's focus is at. And this person's focus is on what I have lost. And it makes complete sense, right? We've all been there, but it is a five. So it wants you to consider to change your focus to understand that not all is lost. Matter of fact, there's soulmate energy right behind this person when they change their focus. They're about to meet their soulmate. And if there was a previous tower, now I could see this in existing relationships and old, like back in the day relationships. Look at this Four Swords healing. Not only healing, but then the Hermit. It literally is like two people. Well, I'm saying two people. I feel like many people, but in partnership type of energy who are just evolving, like truly evolving. Like, oh my God, I feel so proud of you. And, you know, when you do, when you're seeking, let's just say spiritual energy, when you trust within your spiritual team, they will not let you down. But there is certain human action that we also have to take. Again, judgment, right? Looking right at that Five of Cups, like don't focus on what you've lost. You know, the Fool right in the middle of the portal of the world, the Fool right on the table, right? Put the past in the past. But that means, you know, it doesn't mean that like because I feel like for some of you, you're coming back together with a long lost love, so to speak. But it feels like your person. Um, but to stay in, you know, I feel like in the Five of Cups, it can turn into sadness. It can turn into woe is me. And it won't benefit you. And of course, we've all been there. But I feel like judgment is really pointing that out to you. So that you can, you know, simply look forward to your future. And I feel like the rest is going to take place or take care of itself. What a reading, Leo. This is, you know, this feels like one of the best readings I've done for you in quite a while. All right, let's bring out the or the clarifying love situations. Give him a cut, introduce him into the reading. That definitely wants to come. And let's give it a quick shuffle, see if anything else wants to come out. I was just going to say, I usually give it 3 shuffles. And on the third shuffle, the second card wanted to come out. So let's start with the first. So I'm keeping it the way they are because when you turn it around, there's a message on both sides. So you want to keep them just the way they fell. Bound by demands, stifled by expectations. It's time to redefine limits and reclaim freedom. Bound by demands. It feels like the ability to say no. If I don't have time, then the answer's got to be no. Stifled by expectations, it's time to redefine limits and reclaim freedom. And then we have tender bridges, building connections with empathy, gentleness, and kindness. You're building connections. Empathy. I mean, everything that's said on this card is right here between the Empress and the Six of Pentacles. Empathy, gentleness, and kindness. Okay. And last but not least, let's bring out the romance angels. And it's funny because this month, it's like, I feel like I really don't need to bring them out because, again, I feel like the readings have just been that clear. But I know a lot of you really do love these cards. So, getting to know you, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Now, some of you could have known someone as a kid, teenager, and now you're a grown adult. So you do have to get to know each other again. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Sounds like deep, romantic type conversation. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Kind of matches what the clarifying love situation says. Honestly, that's kind of what I feel with this. Like it's learning to say no. But what I love about this image is, first of all, this person has a wedding dress on. So there could be, commitment that's lying ahead. And I feel like she's walking with a spirit, one of her spirit guides, out in nature, connecting, finding clarity, finding answers, asking questions. Some of you, it could simply signify that getting outside, getting out in nature. I know here in the Northeast, the weather's changing and it's getting nicer and nicer. All right, this could be the one. You already met the romantic partner you seek. Flirt. I felt that from the get-go. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. And Leo, you have a lot of light-hearted energy. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And oh no, we didn't read this one. Look at this. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. That is why I felt right from the get go that I don't know. I just felt like things were going to be unexpected, but I feel like everything is heading your way. It feels like a blessing, but all these blessings, they're well earned. Definitely telling you it's a soulmate, and it could be someone that you had no clue about. I love that this also tells you that this could be the one. This is the one. I love the deep conversations going on. I love the fun and flirty energy that's going on. Optimism, I feel like, is one of the first words I said to you in your reading. It's all here. So, everything I was feeling before we started this reading, it all showed and more. Like, holy cow. Well, what I really want to say is, holy shit. Uh, Amen. Wow. Okay, Leo. I loved it. I loved it. I feel like abundance. I feel like love. Um, I feel like this sense of kind of feeling free inside. Again, say no when you need to say no. If you don't have time, you have a right to claim your own time. But I feel like that's more with like if it's coming between like you and your money, well, really anything. But this love, listen, I'm not going to say that you can't be the one who picks up the phone, but I feel like however it comes about, with two worlds here, two stars here, two tens of pentacles here, we know it's a soulmate. I feel like, first of all, you're going to be living together, if not getting married. That could be why I really noticed that wedding dress, but, I'm putting the cart before the horse, or no, the horse before the cart. Let's just get to know each other first, or become reacquainted. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Leo. Wow. I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite readings for you. Um, definitely this year. Definitely this year. It feels like April is a month that is just opening everything up to you. Are you ready? I feel like that's the question. Are you ready? I think you are. All right. I love you guys. Truly. I love you. I thank you. I thank you for watching these long readings. I know not everybody likes long readings, but thank God, because like if I made it short, man, we'd be missing a lot of great information. So, anyways, I love you guys. Thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.